Well, hi, all you beautiful souls out there. This is Compassionate Spirit coming your way, and I'm giggling right now because I'm having to keep redoing this video. Anyway, but before I start on this video, in which it's going to be on fear and ego, um, I want to put out there, there's a lot of men and women that are fighting the fires in Southern California as well as in the Inland Empire. And if you're from the Southern California, as I am, you understand where that's at. Um, so I just want to put out a lot of love and prayers out there and wish them well, and so that they can get home to their loved ones too. But we're just not just experiencing the heat wave. We are also in other parts of our country, they're experiencing some winter time, some major winter. Like Wyoming, they've been snowing there since I think around the 5th, and this is September, and today's the 9th. So I just want to wish all of them well, and also anyone that has been experiencing the heat wave and and don't do well with the heat wave. I just, if we can, those of us who are doing, well with it, or we have shelter, and those who don't have shelter, maybe we can put out by not just prayers, but in some action by offering, some water bottles. I do that periodically, and I'm going to really do more of that starting today, that is. And because there's so many that are dehydrated and that can really suffer a lot. So anyway, now, like I said, this video has to do with, is on fear and ego, and how we can start looking at fear and ego a little differently than we have been. Through our whole lives, we have been using ego and fear as something really bad, and they're not. They're actually our allies. And what do I mean by that? Well, see, ego, does tell us, that we're unworthy, we're stupid, or just anything that's wrong with us. That's ego based, okay? And also, with fear, fear, is something that we have always had and that we needed because it helps us survive. For example, let's say that there's a fire and it's getting pretty close to us. So what are we going to do? We're going to start running. So our energy is going to be dispersed into our arms and our legs, and we're going to get going, so we can get into a safe place. Well, with fear, with humans, we don't tend to let fear go like animals. See, with animals, what they do with fear is that they are able to let fear go. And for example, let's say that there's an antelope that is grazing, but they sense at 3 o'clock there is a predator, and that predator starts on them, starts running after them. And that antelope, again, just like us, all their energy is going to go to their legs so they can get the heck out of there and get to a safe place. Once they're in a safe place, then they let fear go, and they just, again, they get back to their beautiful selves and just start grazing again. With us humans, we are not made up that way. So what happens is that with our fear, when we run away from that fire, even though we're in a safe place, we're under a lot of stress, because that's what our fear turns into, is stress, and we don't tend to let it go all that quickly. So what happens is that now we have that story, and that's what we tend to do as humans versus animals. Animals do not have stories unless, certain ones like elephants and dogs, certain animals, they may be locked into a certain fear, uh, but they don't really build on it. They're just stuck there. Versus us, what we tend to do is build on to that fear. So let's say that, again, we just ran away from a fire, we're safe. Well, like I said, we don't let it go, and we will build up on that story. So how do we do that? Well, we will start having fear of fire. Anytime we see fire, if it's someone lighting a match, or even the stove, if we turn on the stove, if it's it's running by gas, we see that flame, we might get that trigger, and our heart palpitations will start and what have you. And so what we're doing, we're building on that story, and our subconscious is storing that for us, because that's what our subconscious does. It files everything. So then with our ego, what ego is doing is telling us that we're not worthy, we're stupid, it's everything negative about us, right? So what we do with that is we will run with it. So for example, let's say a lot of these feelings, first and foremost, come from where from the time we were a child. So for example, let's say that you were a child that was bullied a lot. It could be from your family member or someone from school. So you always feel like you're victimized. All right. So you oh, you know what? There's a great movie that really shows that, and that is Just Friends. And in that movie, as some of you may have watched it, Ryan Reynolds, his character was, he was a little heavy set. He was kind of dorky when he was a teenager, and he would always get picked on. So what his ego did was to leave the town. He goes to LA, because I forgot what part of what state he's really from. But anyway, then what he did was that he started work on himself, which was good. So he lost his weight, his teeth are perfect and all that. But in his mind, though, he was still in this ego mode of, I am going to show them. I'm going to show everyone that they cannot pick on me. I'm going to be better than them. So he would do things like, for example, he would have one night stands, and he would hurt women's hearts along the way, right? So anyway, so that's what we will tend to do. We will do something, say that we've been bullied. As we get older, we will be that person that's going to bully others, because we're going to say, well, that's not going to happen to me again, so I'm going to do that. So that's just an example, which there is many examples, and I know a lot of you know those examples. So anyway, now how they become our ally instead of our enemy, the fear and ego, is that's what they're there for, is to show up, show these things to us, and then if we recognize it as being fear of something, or we are unworthy, okay, or whatever the title that we want to give ourselves, then if we want to move out of there, we have to start looking within. And I can almost guarantee that most of these feelings that we end up storing and that we build upon starts when we were a child. But the thing is, the first and foremost is that is really important here is recognizing what is going on within us right then and there, and we dive into our feelings, dive inside and see where it started from as far back as you can, and start healing. Now, if you have a hard time with that and you don't know how to do that on your own, that's okay. You know, just as like myself, I'm a perspective life coach, and there's different forms of life coaches out there that can help you with it. If it is really hurting your life and you have not know the tool, you don't have the tools, I should say, to get through, to heal through these wounds, please find someone, find a friend, find someone that you can talk to that can really be there for you. And like I said, there is help out there. There's even other videos to help you through this. But I am going to put some recommendations down below, and also I'm going to have my 2 emails listed, as well as you can catch me on Messenger. So please don't stop, and don't stop looking for the answers of how to heal. There's many ways to help you. You know, we have so much out there now. There wasn't this technology when I was growing up, and now we have it. Let's use it. Let's use it for the right purpose, okay? So, you know, and always remember this. When we learn to do this for ourselves, then we will be able to do that for others. So I want to end this by saying, please be kind to yourself. Please be compassionate to yourself. Please be understanding towards yourself. And always, always love yourself. For when you can do this for yourself, you will be able to do for others and more. So I love all of you. Stay warm if you're, experiencing such cold weather, and I wish all of you that are struggling through the heat, many will come by and offer you a bottle of water and such. So, and again, let's put out those prayers to those men and women, volunteers and such that are working with these fires, and let's just be there for each other, okay? Love all of you, and mwah.